job share is possibly a light-hearted way to describe it. How will it actually work?
Well, yes, this is a very interesting move because essentially, previously, if you want news about the Queen, you phone the Queen's press secretary. If you want news about Prince Charles, you phone his press secretary. Now, both of those offices are going to be under Prince Charles, under his press secretary at the palace. So essentially, if you want news about the Queen, the basic royal family, and Prince Charles, it's all under his press secretary, which is basically that his press secretary is answerable to him. So really, Prince Charles and his press secretary are really in charge of all the royal news now. So that's a very significant move, and there has been whispers that it really is moving towards preparing for eventually the handover.
What will it mean on a daily basis for the rest of us? What will we notice different in the coming year?
Well, already there's been a change because the Queen said last year, I don't want to do any more of those big, exhausting royal travels. She is, of course, nearly 88. And Prince Charles took over and went to the Commonwealth Heads of State. And Prince Charles and the Queen are going to Normandy in the summer to look for the 70th anniversary of the D-Day landings. But the French government have said there's going to be no more overseas visits after that. So that's what they've been told. So we may see a Queen who's much more in Britain, much less overseas foreign travel, and increasingly Charles taking over the role that she has done up till now. She's never going to abdicate. She said that. She said, I'll never abdicate. But certainly, Charles is going to take over more of her duties. That's what it's looked like.
And it's not just Charles as well. We've seen the Duchess of Cornwall out and about with the Queen more and more recently, haven't we? Yes, the Queen's taken over, given the Duchess of Cornwall a few opportunities to take over because what the Queen knows that in a certain amount of time, she is going to be no longer with us, and Charles and Camilla will be the King. And the official line is Camilla won't be Queen, but she will be acting as Queen. And really, the public has to be prepared to look at them because we're so used to the Queen. She's on the throne for so long. In 2015, she's going to take over Victoria as our longest reigning monarch. I think it's time to remind us that she's not going to be here forever, and Charles is eventually going to be our monarch.
You say she's obviously cutting back her duties, but she's still incredibly active, isn't she? You compare her to any other 88-year-old. What she does is astonishing.
Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. The amount of duties she does. And the problem is with the Queen is there's no one who can really stand in for her because, you know, there's a stand-in for me, there's a stand-in for most jobs. But if the Queen doesn't turn up, people are really devastated because they've painted the hospitals, they've put out the bunting just for her. So I think we all need to be reminded that there are other royals and we can't expect the Queen all the time. But she is an incredible figure, a figure who gets all this love, all this affection. She's been on the throne for so long and, you know, she's done incredible service. But I think she's also, you know, a big evidence of keeping active, really. I hope that when I'm in my 80s, I still have her incredible brain that never forgets a thing.
I'm sure we all do, don't we? And Kate, there can never be a stand-in for you. Thank you very much for coming in this morning.
Thank you.